Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rum Regret podcast. I am Andy Drake.
Johanna Myers.
Nate Tussey, and we drink and we know things.
We drink and we know things, and according to our calendars, guys, I think we've been podcasting for over a year now.
Woo!
Hey! Hopa, break a glass.
Stereo celebration.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should be ashamed that I hit the same notes as Joe on that one, but whatever. We're good.
Yeah, no, hey, it's good. We're all friends here.
Huzzah to the glorious podcasters.
Right? Yeah. So, 22 episodes under our belt?
Yeah, ish.
Not bad.
Not
From
bad.
A variety of topics.
Cornucopia.
Yeah.
Auditory enjoyments.
A veritable exuberance, if you will.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Here we go.
Talk a lot.
Yes, we do. So I don't know. Let's thoughts from me. It's fun that Nate, you and I have sort of talked about this forever, and we talked about it for several years before we actually got off our asses and did it. And it was just sort of simpatico that Joe was there when we decided to get off our asses and do this.
Thank you for including me on this adventure.
I couldn't see it any other way, honestly. It was just, I think it was just a perfect happenstance that you were here, we were doing it, we talked about it, the naming of podcasts and everything, and leading up to it, and yeah, it wouldn't be the same thing without you, Joe. So thanks for coming along on this crazy ride.
Cheers.
Yeah. And it, for me, it's just fun to get together and chat with you guys about this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Should I do this even if we weren't recording it?
I know, right?
Yeah. Well, we did for several years.
More than years. Is it multiple decades or decade point sevens? How many? It's been a long time.
Well, so taco nights at the Casa that was like 2005 to 2007.
Yeah, I met you guys, I think it was the end of I moved back from San Diego at the end of 2005.
Mm-hmm.
So either the end of that year or early the next year when I was brought on some fateful mission to the Casa.
Right. Yeah. And so it's been well over a decade. And it's just awesome. It's fun that we're doing this. It's fun that we're together, that we're talking about this stuff. And despite the fact that I moved to a land far, far away, that we're still doing it.
Far, far away. The winter-struck northern reaches.
Yeah.
Winterfell over there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. No, yeah, seriously. We're at the wall. Well, no, I guess Washington's the wall, but
You're
yeah.
talking about the northern wall. Hang on.
Right, yeah.
It's not good.
Oh, geez.
We are Winterfell. It's safe to say that I live in Winterfell.
There you go.
Yeah.
When the White Walkers reach you, let us know.
Yeah.
Okay. Absolutely. Yeah.
That's another,
Give us a heads
that's
up.
another political spin we can. White Walkers are here. They're just very white.
Yeah. Wah wah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Um,
I did 10% of our viewership. Jesus. Okay. That's
Right. Nate, what are your feelings on this?
Yeah, so similar to you, we had this great idea a while ago, and all the air and opportunity one town away to kick this thing off way earlier than we did, but life and things of that nature, and I honestly, on my end, I didn't make it enough of a priority now that I think about it. But life obviously happened, so no harm, no foul there. And I think like I said before, I think there's no way we would have the great mix, the great stew that we have now without Joseph. So I'm happy it happened the way it did, super organic, and it worked out. I went through and listened to every episode again, took pretty good notes until about halfway through, which is just me in a nutshell. Like, hey, I'm very committed to this, and then fuck it.
Yeah.
But But I had some really good kind of zingers from the first couple episodes that I wanted to share at a later point. But I think one of the highlights for me from this whole situation that we call the Rum Regret podcast would have been the friend cast that we had at your place with your lovely wife, Jamie, and just Gina, and also Michael when he joined, and obviously Joe. A couple podcasts we recorded there. One was the Ready Player One, what our expectations were, and we were so hopeful and sweet summer children at that point. Just, oh my God, it's Spielberg, it's gonna be amazing, and then shit ensues. And then we had the great After Hours, the After Dark episode 1 podcast with our lists that I can't stop listening to that. It was so good. And obviously the rum was flowing, but we were having a great time. And that's something I definitely want to recreate again. Hopefully we can do that when we trek up north and visit you at the wall.
Yeah. That cast in particular was great because you can see just how quickly we degrade.
Here, yes.
Yeah, no, I love the fact that I got some names wrong. I thought that was hilarious. But yeah, no, just having everybody in the same room. There is something to having everyone in the same room and having a single solitary microphone. Just sort of, just throwing that stuff around. That cast in particular was pretty magical. Just having everybody around. So I agree.
How about you, Joe?
Pretty much same. Yeah, that podcast was amazing. And again, thank you guys so much for bringing me on board and let me sit and chat with you.
Hopefully you'll be fine with 20%.
Yeah. And little bit of growing pains though is just listening to the podcast and critiquing yourself. Like I just keep, there's times where I'm like, okay, you say way too much.
Yeah,
and
that's what I sound like. Oh, God.
Way too much. So that's been kind of interesting.
Yeah. It does give you a kind of a mirror is the wrong word, but an auditory mirror. Wow, really? That's what I sound like? Okay, cool. I feel like my voice is way more manly in person, but obviously my hearing needs to be checked. Yeah, I don't really have any other kind of pieces of knowledge to drop other than the growing pains you're talking about in maybe a different fashion, where listening to the beginning of the podcast and then how much kind of smoother we've gotten over this time, helped by Andy's leadership, obviously, with intros and kind of guiding the conversations and his hilarious outro attempts to date. It really just makes my day. I kind of don't want us to find a perfect outro just so we can keep that going.
It is kind of fun.
I had a friend of mine send me a Facebook message the other day. She has listening religiously to our podcast, and she said, "Oh my God, your ending is right there. You start with 'We drink and we know things,' so you should end with 'Drink and you'll know things,' or something to that nature." I went, brilliant. Okay, that could work. Yeah, we could definitely put that in the rotation. But yeah, it's been a great ride, and thanks, Andy, for facilitating all this, and especially now that we're working remote. Obviously, couldn't do this without you, and you do all the work on the editing and the treatments, and Joe's helped with that recently. But up to this point, it's been all you, man, on the back end. So thank you for all the time you spent.
Oh, hey, no problem. It's like it's a labor of love for me, really. It is. Yeah, no, the outros. That I start to feel anxiety like about 5 minutes because the conversation, you can tell, is just organically going to stop, and so like I'll try to ask some loaded question just so I can think of an outro. Just to get you guys sort of like one final thought. That's usually my final thoughts are hopes that you guys take at least maybe 2 to 3 minutes so I can figure out something to say.
Is that furiously searching for podcast outros on the internet?
And just don't say enjoy your burrito. Don't say enjoy your burrito.
This is the perfect one. I mean, God damn you, Hardwick.
Right. Yeah. One thing that we definitely need to get back into, and I re-listened to a few of our casts too, but I really did enjoy having Reggie in.
Yes.
And so I think we definitely need the guest spots since we've put through our Facebook blitz and had some people listen to the podcast and some new people find us. One of my friends who has moved up to Portland, who was an intern with me at 957 The Game in San Francisco, he listened to our podcast and shared some thoughts that he had. He listened to the Bird Box one, and he's like, yeah, man, if I ever have anything to contribute, I'd be happy to come on. So.
Yeah, it's great that you bring that up. That was my next one was as far as memorable podcasts and ones that we had the most fun with. They're all great and I have a blast every time, but those ones with the extra person in there and just to get opinions that maybe we had no idea. Because Reggie, I barely know through, an ex-girlfriend kind of thing and don't ever really get a chance to see or let alone nerd out with. It was just perfect timing. He was in town for a work thing and told him to come over, like, hey guys, is this okay? And it worked out really well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd love to do that. And I know some of our other friends here locally are talking about they'd totally be down to do that.
Yeah.
So I'm all for it. I think if we can come up with some kind of predefined, maybe we'll do this on this day kind of thing, we can plan around who we think the best person is that can contribute to that, regardless of who we are and how well we know them. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, absolutely. So are you guys, and this is sort of something for the future, but in terms of where we take this in the future, are you guys all caught up on Game of Thrones?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right. And then are you guys going to watch on the night or during the week of release?
That's the plan for me, at least. April.
Terrible question. When does the one?
April. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what day in April. When is that, Andy? Do you know?
April 13th, I believe.
Well, let me check the calendar.
What I'm getting at is how would you guys like to do a episode by episode review on a weekly basis if we could? Or how about this? Or we do every 2 episodes because it's 6 episodes or 8 episodes?
Yeah, and they're supposed to be really long too. It's still 10 hours of programming split over 6 or 7, I think.
Okay, because we could do every 2, because our schedules seem to work out where we can get together every 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
What would you guys feel about that?
I'm fine with that. The every 2 week cadence starting on the 13th would work for me, just because my daughter's here those opposite weeks.
Sure. Okay.
And that really shouldn't play into it because she's 10 and can take care of herself. So we can podcast if we need to, or if we want to. We could do that on a regular basis. The question is, would it be on Saturday? Which I think is when it airs, right? Or does it air on Sundays? Because 13th.
No, it's been airing Sunday nights.
Okay.
And I don't know if that's changed.
Yeah. So then, the 13th is a Saturday. So if it comes out on the 13th, then that's a Saturday.
Okay, I might be wrong.
Well, if you're not, that's perfect because we could actually plan maybe to watch the show and then podcast right after.
Okay.
I was gonna say if you guys, if it happens to be on a weekend, we could podcast while watching the show, or watch the show kind of together.
Yeah.
And podcast after.
I think we could do both. We could watch the show, record that while we're watching it, MST3K style maybe, and then actually do our podcast after the fact and have the MST whatever the fuck, have our viewer audio be like 0.2 of the episode or something like that. Listen here if you want to hear our audio.
Okay.
I think we could totally do that.
All right, so let's figure this out because I think just because expectations are going to be high off of the premiere.
Yeah.
So why don't we do like just a premiere review of that, and then go 2 episodes, then have it. How our schedules work out. Let's definitely try to plan for a premiere review. and then every second episode after that, and then a finale. Full season.
So the premiere is on the 14th, which is our friend Jess's birthday.
That's right.
That is the Sunday.
Okay.
So we would probably have to do on HBO Go. I think it's available. I don't think it's available until the next day anyway.
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
So
okay.
I probably would have to watch that either that night late or the next couple of days, and then maybe we do it. To really, if we want to maximize an impact, we'd have to do that right away.
Yeah, well, as long as we hit it within 48 hours, I think we'll be fine. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll figure that out, because once April hits, we're going to be in softball season for my kiddo too. So those games are always on the weekends, but then they have a couple weekday games too, depending on what the schedule is. So I won't know that until later, but yeah, for sure. This is all stuff we should be handling offline, but
no, it's true.
It's recorded.
This is how the soup is made. That's not the phrase. What's the phrase?
This is how the soup is made.
What's the phrase? What is it? Come on. Come on, Andy. You know this shit. Oh, my God.
This is how the soup is made, everybody.
There's our sign out.
Yeah, that's the sign out now. What is it called? This is how the cake is made. The cake is, I don't know. That's how the cookie crumbles. No, that's not what I'm looking for. God damn it.
Oh, God.
And on a weird
sausage. God damn it. Not soup, but sausage. The sausage is made. It's a phrase. Shut up, Andy.
I've never heard that phrase.
That's how the sausage is made. Yeah. Nice shirt, by the way.
Dude, this is the most comfortable shirt in the world. I just want you to know that. So
I'm super jealous.
Thank you so much, man. This is the awesomest shirt.
Yeah,
literally
for the listeners, he's wearing the Yeah Baby. Is it Yeah Baby is what it says?
Yeah.
Yeah Baby shirt from Guardians of the Galaxy 2, I believe.
That's right.
Yeah. Star-Lord here in the house. Represent.
A gift from the Nate. So
yeah.
Thank you so much, man.
Cheers, man.
Yeah.
So, just since we went off on that random tangent, it kind of made me think. I was listening to the Joe Rogan podcast, and I can't remember the name of the guest he had on, but they were both of them had podcasts, and they were discussing the difference between having a live podcast, which Joe Rogan's is live, and then this other guy really it kills me. I can't remember his name, but he has a edited podcast. And so it was just really interesting to hear the kind of the differences between the two different formats. And
yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I just finished that episode today, and that was Sam Harris,
yes,
who is the smartest, preeminent mind of our time, neuroscientist, author of several New York Times bestsellers. He's the pinnacle of the atheist movement as far as facts and getting emotion out of it and that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. He's kind of filled a little bit of the void that Hitchens left.
Yeah.
Being this insane intellect and just being able to throw everything out there factually and let everything fall as it may. But yeah, it was really cool talking about it. His podcast is delayed, recorded, and edited, and then Rogan's is live, obviously. Yeah. And the other difference too is the models in which people support the podcast. So Rogan's is heavily ad based, and Sam Harris is all donation based. And he has paywalls for his stuff, depending on what it is. So that's something hopefully we can talk about at some point. That'd be great.
Absolutely.
Insert sponsorship here. 3, 2, 1. We're back.
I listened to Michael Rosenbaum's podcast, the Inside of You podcast. I don't know if you guys have listened to this one. Rosenbaum, he played Lex Luthor on Smallville.
Right.
Yeah. But he, his podcast is edited and released, and it's very, very organic. I say it's pretty close to how we do it, but then, he's got an ad in the middle of his, and it didn't take me out of it at all. So, but I definitely, because I had only listened to a few podcasts before we started doing it. So I didn't really have a model of how we should do it, but I've, obviously just from working in radio, I've ingested a lot of radio, and I know sort of how they do it.
Right.
So I was sort of approaching it from that point of view.
Right. Yeah, I've been a voracious listener of podcasts for years. It's just when you get into that kind of banal work where you're just crunching numbers or working in spreadsheets or just trying to churn out websites or whatever, it's great to have something in the background. And I would always listen to music, but then found podcasts a long time ago, and I have probably a dozen or two that are go-tos. I have a Monday morning. I have one that comes out every Tuesday. I've got, every time. I think I started with Adam Carolla's show. Him and Rogan are probably the pioneers of that whole format, at least in the current iteration. And I don't listen to Carolla as much as I used to, just because of the way he's kind of changed with his opinions on things. But his podcast is so successful, he breaks everyone up into 2 parts now, so he can have separate ads for each part of the 2-part podcast. Like they record it all at once, slice it in half, have intros, outros. He does reads in the middle. I mean, he's making a ton of money off of this podcast. But I think between him and Rogan, they're either number 1 and number 2, or are really close to that as far as viewership. Jesus, here we go. Listenership, millions of people. I mean, they hit more people than most newscasts do. So it's an interesting format for sure.
Yeah.
Well, like I listened to, when I got started listening to podcasts, it was basically just I was drawn to people that I like. So I listened to Hardwick and Kevin Smith's, because I just was like, I just want to hear you guys talk because I'm a fan. And then I was like, oh, there's this whole world of podcasts, and then I started listening to Welcome to Night Vale, which I fucking love, and my coworker started listening to Joe Rogan out in the shop, and I wasn't really I knew who he was, and I just started listening by proxy because it's playing in the shop, and I was like, this is really freaking cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff, and especially when Game of Thrones comes back, there's a podcast called Cast of Thrones, and these guys are amazing. They do Game of Thrones, they do The American Gods, they do a bunch of different ones that are just awesome. And those people have really kept me into it for a long time. As far as you watch the episode, you listen to their podcast, and they break it down. They've all read the books. They're on the same level depending on where you're at.
Yeah. And
they just do a really good job of illuminating the differences and what they thought about the show. And there's a lot of things that you'll find out because they've read a bunch of other supporting, not novels really, but short stories or, side things from R.R. Martin and feed that in. And they're all super nerds. So all the stuff they're referencing is just other fantasy books or sci-fi books they've read.
Right.
So they're really good. And then one that I found in the last year or so is the Glass Cannon podcast, which is a D&D podcast. It's actually a Pathfinder podcast, excuse me. So Pathfinder is D&D cranked up to 11 as far as the rule set goes. It's basically the 3rd edition Dungeons and Dragons, which is very heavily rules based, and it's kind of extrapolated into this giant world they have now. And it's made by Paizo, which is not Wizard of the Coast. It's a different company. That podcast single-handedly got me back into D&D. I'd been toying with the idea of playing again for a while. We had a PlayStation gaming group that was talking about maybe, hey, we'll do something remotely online. Got all jacked up for it, bought the player's handbook, like, oh my God, I'm going to get back into this. And then it didn't happen, but then I found their podcast and it kind of inspired me. I put a post on a local Facebook page and got a bunch of responses. So now we have a local Facebook group, Diablo Valley Gamers, I believe. And we're getting together on Saturday to play D&D. So
nice. Yeah. So it's funny. We, the first family that we've sort of become friends with out here are the Dickinsons. So, and they have 4 kids, and then both the parents are gingers, so all the kids are gingers. So they're essentially the Weasleys, right? And then when we got here, and I don't know if you guys saw this post, but there was a local bar, coffee shop bar that did a Star Wars night. Okay. And so, and then we got there and they had all of these cool themed drinks, and dishes and whatnot, food dishes that were all Star Wars themed and everything. And we were talking to the people, and apparently they do these theme nights all the time. They did a Disney villains night. They just did Harry Potter night. And so, but they are doing a bi-weekly tabletop gaming session.
Yeah.
Right? So, and I've been trying to get to this, but just the timing sort of sucks. But anyway, Austin, the father, Dickinson, is like a huge D&D guy, and like just started to get back into it. And so like we were going to go together the first night, but only he could go. And he went there, and he's just like, well, it's kind of a low turnout, but he's like, I think we could get some people and run a game. And since then, he's been running a full D&D game at the night. So I'm thinking about getting into it here.
Yeah, 5th edition is really fun. It's very I don't want to say it's simplified, but it's streamlined. There's not as many rules you have to worry about. It's more about the character building and what you can do with it. And it's actually has some crazy legs now, like with Critical Role and all those things that are coming back through. And I know we talked about this before, that Joe Manganiello is trying to get a full-on D&D Dragonlance movie made.
Oh yeah.
Legit. Yeah. So I'm really stoked for that, but I'm kind of looking at my dashboard here with all the podcasts that I listen to all the time. And I'll just grab a screenshot of my like top 15, and we can put that in the show notes or something like that. This is what I deal with every day. And we actually have somebody here locally. So I guess, what is it? Albrechts? Lisa and Nikki?
Yeah.
Right. So Lisa is married to Steve, I want to say.
Right. Yeah.
This is me not hanging out with my neighbors enough, but he has a podcast, Grognostics podcast, a beer-based podcast, and it's really good. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, definitely check it out when you have a chance. It's phonetic, so Grognostics, and it's definitely check that out. So it's included in the board. We also have Joe Rogan, Kevin Smith, Mark Maron, Corolla, Half Hour Happy Hour, which is Allison Hayslip from G4, which is really great. Nice. Nikki Glazer is one of my favorite stand-up comedians right now. She has a show on Sirius every week, and then does a podcast, every day, and does a podcast every week with all like the highlights. Star Talk Radio, with Neil deGrasse Tyson, Sam Harris's podcast, and that kind of thing. So Dax Shepard actually is also really good. It's one of those things like Joe Rogan where not to sound insulting at all, but you don't think they're going to be as deep as they are on these podcasts. He's super smart, very inquisitive, and just a great interviewer. And he has just amazing people on his podcast. Jay Leno and Sarah Silverman and Josh Hutcherson, Sophia Bush. It's crazy, runs a gamut, and just super smart and really entertaining. And Joe Rogan I can't say enough about his podcast. I love it.
Another good one is Bobby Lee's podcast, Tiger Belly.
Oh, it sounds amazing. I haven't seen that.
So funny.
Haven't seen it. Jesus, here we go again.
Well,
I haven't heard
that
it.
one actually, it's on YouTube, and there's it's live, and they have the camera, so you actually will see it.
Nice. Right on.
That's cool.
Littering and
smoking the reefer.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Jeez.
I sent you a screenshot there, Andy, so you'll have it.
See it.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty cool graphic.
So one of the reason why I suggested the Game of Thrones recap is that there was a YouTuber, Comic Book Girl 19, who read all the books and was very, very excited when the show came out. But when it started to live its own life after the 4th season, she used to do episode by episode reviews, and she would watch it. You'd see it in the corner, and then she'd talk about it and whatnot. But then she actually went further and did full house histories.
Wow.
House in Game of Thrones, and so that's what really got me excited about sort of, I was already excited about Game of Thrones because it's a fun story, but then when she went into all the history of stuff, because watching the show, you understand a little bit, especially now, more about the whole thing with Rhaegar and Lyanna.
Right.
But you didn't really understand it just because you had to put it together from side conversations, and if you didn't get the DVDs with the little extra things that tell you what's going on,
Right.
what they're talking about, you know, if they're easily missed. And so watching her series on the house histories and everything that sort of happened and Robert's Rebellion and all that good stuff, you just, you know, I know way more about Game of Thrones now, and I can get everything. I get everything now in context much better from her series.
Yeah. And
yeah.
even if you read the books, there's stuff that I would miss, or because obviously I didn't follow everything one to one. But exactly what you're saying, I bought the first season on Blu-ray, and it's amazing. But I was shocked at how much extra stuff they included that I had no idea about, even reading the books, because it's their own thing with it. But yeah, it was about was it season 4 or season 5, or maybe it was almost at the end of season 4 where they went off. Like, there's your source material, and now they're off to the races, literally, because they moved so many storylines along very quickly.
Right.
Out some of the best stuff. I mean, Lady Stoneheart not being in that show absolutely crushes me. And if you guys don't know who Lady Stoneheart is, that's
which
Catelyn
I have
Stark.
to ask, Andy, did you read the books?
So I read the first one. I have not read anything since.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've obviously
Did you read the books?
Read all the books.
Yes.
I'm read up until the point where they went off book.
Oh, okay. So you know who Lady Stoneheart is.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah. And Andy, I'm sure you're aware.
I am. Yeah.
For the listeners, spoiler alert. Lady Stoneheart is Catelyn Stark. So she obviously gets killed at the Red Wedding. But she gets resurrected by Beric Dondarrion and proceeds to kill everyone. She is the most vicious badass, one of the most vicious badasses in that whole series. And it was an arc that we were hoping for. We got some teases on Twitter from the actress showing a little heart made of stone, and that was it. And I was so hyped for it, and it didn't happen. And it might be interesting to see. Maybe they throw it into the last season just to pay homage or do something with it, because they're going to have some time there. But
I hope so.
I mean, there's so many storylines they have to tie up, though, in the last season that I don't know. We'll see where it goes, but I can't imagine they're going to throw something like that in there.
Yeah, I have a feeling that each episode is going to tie up sort of a different character's arc, and that'll be it. You know. Yeah,
I agree. Did you see the meme on Facebook lately with the death pool that people are making?
Oh yeah,
for the final season, it's a Deadpool basically.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And, I saw a really good one. We're actually going to do this at work. So it's basically every character that's still alive, and are they going to die? Are they going to become a White Walker? And then there's 3 bonus questions at the bottom. Is Daenerys pregnant? Who kills the Night King? And who ends up on the throne? And those are like bonus questions worth like 100 points each, and all the other ones are worth maybe like 1 or 2.
Yeah.
So it looks really cool. I think we're going to do it at work. It should be fun.
Okay.
I know, right? I think we should probably do that on our podcast.
I think so. Yeah, no, I think we should have a cast on it.
We should, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we have plenty of time. Let's plan a pre-of Thrones cast where we do that.
Yeah, sounds good. Well, we can have like a draft almost.
that'd be funny.
Yeah, it's not a draft, but it's more of a it's a Deadpool party. Yeah.
With the 3rd pick of the draft, Team Andy chooses Cersei Lannister.
Boo! Yes.
Oh, speaking of, did you guys see that article about that they said that Sir Pounce is dead?
Yeah, she killed the cat. She killed Sir Pounce.
Yeah.
Apparently. Well, she killed everyone else, but yeah.
Right.
Why do you gotta kill the cat? Come on, man.
Reminds her of her dead son. I don't blame her.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it, but I could see her character
one
doing
of the things in the article was that she hated the name. That's why she killed the cat. She hated the name Sir Pounce and killed the cat.
Cersei's a basic bitch. I'm just going to say it. Oh, man.
Yeah, I could see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good times.
Yeah.
Well, I have a couple kind of gems that I pulled out of the first half if you guys want to hear them.
Oh, yeah.
I know we didn't really prep for this, and I think maybe we'll do this as a separate cast. We'll go through all of the episodes and pull out our favorites. And what might be fun to do is do it like a award show style.
Oh, that would be
does this every year, where he has like best one-liner, best episode, best whatever, and we could probably
best outro.
Best outro, yeah. There's so many to pick from, and go fuck yourself, San Diego. So, Joe wins for best outro again. So episode 1 was a 3-parter, and that was our review of The Last Jedi, which, if you'll remember, I loved.
You go to hell for lying, Nate.
Not. There's no hell, so I'm good. So some of the best quotes, we actually touched on this one before, was Joe invoking the Shmeezus, excuse me, which broke Andy both times. We have mentioned that in the past, and there he goes again. So good. And she was on a cross at a certain point. Not really a cross, but close enough. My own favorite quote of my own, that's redundant, allow myself to introduce myself, was 40 years of canon and shit on my heart. I said that a lot of times in that episode, and Joe called me out on that. And Joe is a first order fangirl. That's what I got from that episode.
Oh, yeah.
My line of quotes.
I'm still a first order fangirl.
Yeah.
Huck's made it to the last one.
Yeah.
I hope he lives.
Yeah. There was a lot of other things in that one. Green milk from a giant titty beast. It's a Disney film, people. I think that was you, Andy. I don't remember who said that. But, oh my God, it was hilarious. And then we're talking about that friend cast that we had, where we're talking about our favorite screen-to-film adaptations and the best and worst, and Ready Player One and that kind of thing. And so we have Just Gina, which was kind of a hilarious moment. We're all going around introducing ourselves and insert noise drop or insert clip here. Just Gina.
Yeah.
And we roasted her for the remainder of the podcast about it. That was great. I don't want to go too deep into this, actually, because without context, it's going to be weird. But
sure.
The last one that I'm going to throw out there, we were talking about Infinity War before it was released, what our hopes were. And Joe made a statement to the effect of, oh my gosh, I hope they don't kill my favorite people, because she's a huge Hiddleston and Cumberbatch supporter. And my comment was, I want Doctor Strange and Loki to die at the same time just for you. So
you're an ass, Nate.
Yes, we will all have our own lists when we do the best of podcast, but that was just a taste.
I like it.
I gotta say, I had a lot of fun with the Halloween horror cast, just because I am a horror fan. So,
agreed.
That was my wheelhouse. So
yeah, I think our Bird Box Bandersnatch ones were both really good too. I think at that point we had gotten better at doing the show, and then we had some notes prepared, and we were all kind of fresh on the ideas. And
well, I think our reaction videos are videos, podcasts in general. I do it too. Like even when we sat and watched Krypton and did that review of the pilot, I thought that was a good cast for us, just because we're, I love our general cast because we're talking about stuff and, we're just sort of, shooting the shit, free-forming it, whatever. But, when we're focused too on a single subject and topic, I think that's more fun.
Yeah.
You mean show prep matters? Shocker.
Sometimes. I think it's fun because we're, that's essentially why we started this, is because we like talking about shit, and it's, we're, not just sort of throwing around different subjects, but where, oh, hey, did you guys see this? Yeah, this is what we thought. And that's, that's essentially why we started this thing, is to, so our reactions to like certain episodes and certain things and certain shows and stuff like that. That's the fun for me. Yeah,
agreed. I'm thinking, are you guys going to see Alita when it comes out? I think it's this weekend.
I want to see that very
much. Alita Battle Angel, Andy? You have a befuddled look on your face.
Maybe.
I
don't know.
It's Christoph Waltz in it. Come on.
I know, but... Yeah.
It looks amazing. Are you serious? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. It looks so good. So, hopefully you'll see it, because I'm definitely seeing it. Maybe
okay.
Happen this weekend. If there's time.
Sure.
That needs to happen.
Possibly.
Yeah, it's going to be an IMAX, so obviously I'm sold.
Of course.
Yes. Do you ever see Kung Fu Panda in IMAX?
You beat me to it. You beat me to it.
Self-deprecation is my yeah. So we should probably plan out the major events that are coming up, at least in the Marvel universe, because we've got Captain Marvel, Infinity War, then Spider-Man, and I think there's one other this year. I'll have to double check that, but yeah, reaction cast to those would be great.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And if you guys are willing, I know Nate, you don't like horror movies. Wink, wink.
Shut up.
But
do not invoke the Cameron Hughes.
It Chapter 2 comes out this year.
For sure, I'm on board. I love the first one. It made me jump. I think I peed a little, but it was good. Loved it.
And sorry, I think I'm late to the party on this one because Nate, I think you mentioned it in a previous cast, and blasphemy on this. But did you guys see the trailer for Us, the new Jordan Peele?
Yes.
I think I caught part of it. Yeah, it's a family that looks just like them, and it's following them across the country or something like that, right?
Yeah. I saw it for the first time last night, and I was like, "Oh my god, this looks fantastic."
Yeah, same. I think I need to watch it again though, because I was just for a minute I went, "Wait, what the fuck is going on?" Oh,
yeah.
Did you guys see Get Out?
Oh yeah, Get Out.
Oh yeah, that's such a good movie.
Yeah. Oh my God.
But yeah, no, I think we should definitely stay up on our horror movies because and I'm gonna put sort of Brightburn in that.
Oh fuck yes.
So yeah, we should.
Nate made me watch the trailer for that.
Talk
one.
about a Venn diagram
Holy
of amazing, like
yeah.
horror and superhero movie put together.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So we should we should get our all of our horror movies up and then do maybe like a general, like nail out a couple of them in a.
So
let's grab the Google Doc and we'll just plan out just everybody.
Okay.
That they want to talk about on there. We'll look at the release schedule for the year and go from there on the movie.
Yeah, no, that sounds
right
good.
off the top of my head, 2 to watch. The Prodigy when it comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
King of Monsters also. Gloria.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And one that's on Netflix. The Autopsy of Jane Doe.
Okay.
Okay. Interesting.
It is fucking good.
Sorry, it's what?
It's fucking good.
There you go. They can't hear you mouthing words, Joe.
Right. Yeah. I could beep it.
Yeah. Uh-oh, we almost lost Joe. Yeah, there you should.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Right on.
Yeah, I know. I'll Nate, the screenshot that you sent over, it's just cool seeing our logo in the mix of that.
I know, right? Isn't that awesome?
It really is. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we should maybe add a little bit of text to that, but not too much, like we had talked about. Maybe just the name.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Nice. All right. Final thoughts?
Yay, podcast. I mean, short but sweet. I love this thing. It's I love hanging out with you guys anyway, but the fact that we get to kind of record the thing and
go back and revisit all the fun we had.
And on a side note, I've been doing podcasts with my daughter just kind of randomly. Addie and Daddy podcast coming at you.
It's
ridiculously cute. We have a 2-parter on Aquaman where she goes off on that. And,
nice.
Yeah, we're just having fun with it, and I never would have gotten to that point without this first. So, thanks for that.
Yeah, excellent.
All the
Joe. Joe, final thoughts?
Final thoughts. I have no final thoughts. Aside from this is amazing and fun, and I love it, and I hope we keep doing it for a very long time.
Ooh, and we should try to figure out if Comic-Con is doable.
So,
or maybe a Comic-Con in your neck of the woods, Andy, if they have one up there.
Well, and that's
Does Oregon have comic books?
What are you talking? Hipsters here. Of course, they're comic books. No, Wizard World Comic Con is 2 weeks away, actually, and we are going. Yeah. So Momoa's going to be there. The entire cast of Buffy, save the important people, are going to be there. Melissa Benoist and Tyler Hoechlin, Supergirl and Superman, are going to be there.
Benoist is my girl.
Yeah. Who else? Oh, Matt Ryan, Constantine is going to be there. So it's a very, very strong lineup this year. So we're gonna go on Saturday and try to get a peek at the famous people, and have Xander's gonna get his Harley Quinn fix in.
Nice.
Yeah, he will.
Touch Momoa's butt for me.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't want to get hit.
Not worth it.
Go ahead. No, you go first.
Okay, so side note, East Bay Comic-Con is a thing.
And he's going to be there.
Huh?
No.
East Bay Comic-Con is a thing. It's a very small gathering. It's at the hotel next to the airport in Concord.
Oh,
I took Addie and her best friend to go see Lego Movie Part 2, which is great, by the way. Go see it.
Oh, yeah, we saw it too.
Addie was dressed up like, shit, of course, now I'm going to forget.
Wild Style?
No, from The Hobbit, the elven lady that they added for the movie.
Freckles.
Yes.
Shit.
Evangeline Lilly.
Yeah, Evangeline Lilly's character. I can't remember it now. Damn it. All right. Anyway, I bought her. She was that for Halloween this last year.
Oh, nice.
And wore it to the movie, and then we circled back by the Comic-Con at the end. It was kind of winding down. It wasn't very crowded. They let us go in without paying, and so her and her friend and I just kind of walked. We didn't get to go to the exhibitor sections or anything like that, but just down the main drag and saw everybody. And oh, now it's killing me. I can't remember the name. So Flash, he plays the older Flash. God, what's his name? It's killing me now. Andy, help me.
Yeah, no, hold on.
You're my only hope.
Yeah, no, the actor, right? The
Yes, this is Bad Pod. Sorry, guys.
Oh,
Let me find it.
No, it's damn it, it's
John Wesley Shipp.
Yeah.
Who plays the Flash from the alternate dimension or alternate universe?
Yeah.
Was that?
Well, so he was the Flash in the original '90s series.
Exactly. Yeah. Sorry. So that Flash, and also from the current series, he was there, and Addie said, "Dad, I'm going to faint." When she saw him just in his booth signing autographs and everything, and it was really cool. Side note. Another guy, I can't remember his name. So Dusk Till Dawn, the final group, not Sex Machine, the big football player guy.
Oh yeah,
I can't remember his name, but he was also there.
Okay.
It was, and I told Addie I thought I might faint. No, but just as a side note, that thing is real. There were some great costumes. The kids had a blast, and some people from the D&D group actually went and met up with their families there. So next year when it comes around, we're definitely going to go. We're going to do a big dress-up thing. So,
nice.
Joe, obviously you're invited, and it'll be cool. So
nice.
The Comic-Cons are real, even if we don't have to deal with 1 million people in a crush.
Yeah.
So we'll figure it out.
Yep. Well, Silicon Valley Comic-Con, I went, I think last year.
Nice.
It's pretty legit and awesome. And for Momoa fans, he will be there.
What? When is that?
So, sometime this year.
Thanks.
I want to say
Karnak in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Karnak.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm not even going to try to say when it is. I just know it's this year, and
okay.
Yeah, but it's in San Jose.
Right on.
Nice. Yeah, let's definitely try to get out to some cons and report back just on what we see.
Yeah, unfortunately, living in San Diego for 5 years, I never went to Comic-Con, which is I probably shouldn't admit.
Oh my God.
I know, and it was in the early 2000s too, when it probably wouldn't have been crazy. But,
Well, we have.
Right.
Yeah,
we have a house in San Diego if we need it. So
sorry, what?
We have a shelter in
Dan.
San Diego. Yeah, Lieutenant Dan's in San Diego. So.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we have shelter.
Almost be worth
Becky.
it. Silicon Valley Comic Con is August 16th through the 18th. FYI.
Okay.
All right.
Perfect. All right.
All right.
And Lieutenant Dan, we're gonna come invade your house for Comic-Con.
I know, it sounds like it.
Yeah. So final thoughts from me, just to echo what you guys says. It's awesome to get to hang out with you guys via this route and talk and just geek out and have fun and talk about this stuff. And it's awesome. I too agree that we should keep this up, keep it going, keep the dream alive. I'm thinking.
Keep the dream alive. Is that supposed to be the ender?
No.
Keep it going.
Stupid horse.
You gotta move your plan.
Anyway, to the listener, thank you for tuning in to this. We hope we've entertained you this round. We hope you've entertained you thus far in our year in. Let us know how we're doing in the comments. Till then, keep your glasses full, and we'll talk to you soon.
Cheers.
Clink.
Dink.
You have to say the clink. We put the sound in there.
No, I think we have to say it.
No, we don't.
Okay.
We'll post.
I think the keep your glasses full is pretty strong. I think. Because it implies drink and you'll know things. Because
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. Might need a little something on the back. But
yeah,
it's good.
Okay, I like it.
Go fuck yourself, San Diego.
I think that needs to be in regardless.
I don't think so. I think we should have that as a draw.
Stay classy, San Diego.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I vote for that. Keep your glasses full and stay classy, San Diego. You gotta say it very cheesy though, like a Ron Burgundy.
Yeah.
In fact, we could put Ron Burgundy. No, we couldn't. We probably can't.
No, I think we get in trouble for that.
Yeah.
Speaking of Ron Burgundy, the Ron Burgundy podcast starts soon.
Shut up.
Swear. No, I swear to God.
That's amazing. Are there bits of Real Panther?
Yeah, right. If you and this is a competitor, so I'm going to stop recording right now.